Hello, I'm Larry Kaiser, Program Director of the Creativity and Innovation Programs at Drexel University. I've been asked to introduce to you Dr. Fredricka K. Reisman, a trailblazer in creativity that I've known for just shy of 38 years. Fredricka Reisman, PhD, known to her friends and colleagues and students after they graduate as Freddie, is Emerita Professor and founder of Drexel School of Education. She also currently serves as the director of the Freddie Reisman Center for Translational Research and Creativity and Motivation, which was established by a donor in her honor, was the creator and former director of Drexel's Creativity and Innovation programs, and still serves as co-director of the Drexel Torrance Center for Creativity and Innovation. She is former assistant provost for assessment and evaluation at Drexel, co-founder of Drexel's Education, Learning, and Brain Sciences Research Collaborative, and President Emerita of the American Creativity Association. Several years ago, Drexel University recognized Dr. R, that's my name for her, with renaming the annual university-wide awards for faculty creativity as the Freddie Reisman Faculty Scholarly and Creative Activity Awards. Dr. Reisman will be sharing her current thoughts about creativity, and she opted to do so via a video. The following presentation will be on that topic, specifically challenges for creativity integration and how to conquer them. Dr. Reisman.
Thank you, Larry. Well, I was always wondering, why are we so afraid of creativity, and why do people desire but reject creative ideas? We may say we value creativity. We may glorify the most imaginative among us, but in our heart of hearts, imagination can scare us. People think they like creativity, but teachers, scientists, and executives are biased against new ways of thinking. Is there any innate bias against novelty? Is the brain hardwired to distrust creativity? People often reject creative ideas, even when espousing creativity as a desired goal. People are subtly prejudiced against novelty, even when they claim to be open to new ways of thinking. Well, strategy 1 will provide information regarding creativity, and that will include the 2010 IBM study, the Economic Forum reports, and teacher non-recognition of their creative students, which goes back to Getzels and Jackson's study in 1962, plus many since then. The global 2010 IBM study involved 1,500 CEOs from 60 countries and 33 industries worldwide that IBM surveyed. And more than rigor or discipline, management, or integrity or vision, CEOs believe that successfully navigating an increasing complex world will require creativity. The World Economic Forum report moved the ranking of creativity in 2015 from 10th place to 3rd place in 2020. And notice the first two, the complex problem solving and critical thinking, are actually subsets of creativity. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report stated that creativity, innovation, and ideation will be key skills for the workforce of the future. Teachers do not recognize their creative students. Teachers dislike personality traits associated with creativity, and they prefer traits that seem to run counter to creativity. For example, conformity and unquestioning acceptance of authority. Well, why? Well, Dr. Torrance back in 1963 pointed out that creative traits are sometimes obnoxious. People are not courteous. They refuse to take no for an answer. They're critical of others. And teachers, on the other hand, prefer traits that run counter to creativity, such as conformity and unquestioning acceptance of their authority. But there's hope. Despite the long history of research indicating that teachers do not value creative traits in students, teachers report that they value creativity in the classroom. For our next strategy, we're going to diagnose the real problem. Which teacher education programs include studies related to creativity? Since teachers can either nourish or punish their creative students due to their knowledge regarding how to identify and teach creative learners, we are embarking on a national survey to ascertain which teacher education programs include studies related to creativity. We're going to survey teacher education programs internationally as well, with help from our GCI members across the globe. And also, we will obtain unsolicited anecdotes regarding interactions with colleagues and supervisors regarding creativity. The FRC translates research buried in journals and grant reports to benefit education and corporate end users. We provide instructional modules addressing creativity and motivation and modify them as a function of end user feedback. And we solicit user feedback regarding new research needed regarding creativity and motivation. Rather than the one-way medical model of bench to bedside, the FRC two-way approach is synergistic and seeks feedback from the end users that will help the FRC team improve the modules. 11 of the creativity modules emerged from the research-based free online Reisman Diagnostic Creativity Assessment factors that include originality, fluency, flexibility, elaboration, resistance to premature closure, tolerance of ambiguity, risk-taking, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, divergent and convergent thinking. There are 9 FRC motivational modules in addition to the creativity modules. And corporations are embracing creativity, and I'm sorry to say that it's doing it more rapidly than education, but they've established titles such as Chief Creative Officer, CCO, who directs a company's creative output, developing the artistic design strategy that defines the company brand, is usually the highest ranking position of the creative team within a company, is responsible for the overall look and feel of marketing, media, and branding. There's also a title, Creative Director, who is the head of the creative team, have the final say on what goes to the client and make important upper-level managerial and creative direction decisions. And there are also titles such as Chief Innovation Officer, Chief Strategy Officer, Chief Talent Officer. We must vanquish ignorance and prejudice against creativity. And with the hope of the Global Creativity Initiative Group, that's exactly what we intend to do. I'd like to invite you to send comments and questions to either my email, freddie@drexel.edu, or Dr. Kaiser, which is kaiser@drexel.edu. Thank you for listening.